Alright, so exactly what Bouvier just asked. That's the same homework you already had written in your plan book from last week, but you can't just write same because it's a new week. So please write that down. In the Monday box for math. Guys, we have some people being sneakies about plan books and you're getting caught and it's no fun. Please just put down what we ask you to put down and do it accurately because eventually you get caught and that's no good. There's some people writing down no homework when there is homework. It's not working out very well because you need to have your homework completed. So we have not really started those lessons yet, and I don't know if we'll get to it today, but I want you to have it because that will be the homework continuing on into this week, and then you can just write same. So I'm trying to save you work later in the week. If you did not get your math journal off the back table, please do so. If you did not turn your math journal in, you're going to need to do that. Will, hey, I got yours kind of wet. Sorry, that was my fault. My water bottle. Sorry, you raised your hand and I remembered. Your math journal, where is it? I'll show you. So my water bottle sweated and the top of your pages got kind of wet. I just wanted to confess and let you know. Okay, what's your question?
So my question is that
On the homework questions from... Sorry. It'll come back to you. Alright, here's what we're doing today. So, your solo attempt from last week. I heard, and Mr. Mendrink phrased it pretty much exactly like some kids were upset, or some kids were like mad or frustrated. I forget what word he exactly used, but the fact that like you thought I was going to grade this and you didn't have what you thought was ample time to finish. I do not grade these. I'm giving them back to you so those of you who were not finished have time. And even those of you who are finished can verify with your classmates a little bit more. Now, if you were done with this and you're like, good gosh, let's move on. I don't need more time on this. You can work on those assignments if you want. But please be a good teammate. We're going to give people probably at least 10 more minutes to work on finishing up the solo attempt and reviewing it with their neighbors. Will, did you remember what your question was?
Yeah. So my question was, do you check journals every week?
I try to, but it depends on how many lessons we've done or how much homework we've done. Actually, I'm going to try to make my life easy, sorry. Izzy, Will, come grab these. I don't want to walk all around. Ina, Bilal. Well, we need to talk about headers in your lesson. It's all good. We're going to talk about it in a minute. Rachel, Annie, Zach, Annie, Rachel, Piper, and Bouvier, and Sky. Here, Sky, Piper, Ava, and Zen, and Alana. Ava, Zen. So this is a test. So please respect the fact, Alex, please respect the fact that some of your peers want some quiet to work, and some of your peers probably don't care, but let's respect those that want quiet. So if you are checking with your team, your catch opportunity, right, it's okay to fall, especially if you have someone there to catch you. Please do that quietly. Don't be like, yo, Oliver, what'd you... Like, come on.
I don't know.
So, quietly check with your teams. I'll give you at least until 5 after. Probably a little bit longer. So I'm going to pause the video since I'm just going to give you guys time to work. But we want to try to have these all mastered. This is individual attempt. It will be individually graded. You're getting to verify it with your team. Now, what did I say? Hopefully, Mr. Mendrink communicated this. What did I say about if you're changing an answer based on what your team has said? Tyler?
You keep the work that you have and you put down the correct answer.
Yeah.
Just to get it wrong.
Grab a Post-it. Keep the work you had. I want to see what you did on your own. Keep the work you had, but grab a Post-it. Over top of your work you had, Post-it the new work that you want me to actually grade as what you're turning in. But keep the work you had. I like to see the learning process. I like to see the, oh, this was a mistake, but then I realized what to actually do. Those mistakes are powerful. So, I'll give you time. I'll stop talking. Hi, friends who are not here. We are done with team test time for right now. So we're going to move on to point 2. Chapter 2 Math Journal, your MJ2 grade in math today, and your headers. So, let's assume this is a math journal that I'm checking. And this is the title of the assignment.
Bad.
And this is what the assignment says every single day. Every day. That's what I put on my... Right? It's today's. It tells me who it is. And it tells me... So, I'm not picking on anybody. So, this is not a good, accurate header. Okay, so let's go back in time a little bit. All right, everyone get out your math journal. Everyone get out your math journal.
I actually have headers. I went and I know what I'm missing.
All right. Well, Bilal is making it rather obvious. He's telling people. So, So I was unclear. I said put a header on your assignment. So Bilal did. He totally did. He did. Homework for Bilal. Homework for Bilal. Homework. Wait. Guess what the next one is? Homework for Bilal. So they get every single assignment has a header, but they're all the same. So let's talk about what a header should include. Right. So if you were gonna write down, let's all write down a header for the next homework assignment we're gonna have. Right. So we'll also work for today. If you have it, check if it's good. This next assignment covers lessons 321, 322, and 323. So we're going to say 3.2.1 to 3.2.3. Because it's a giant assignment, right? That's the section. We should always know what section we're working in, because that'll help me whether I'm going to homework help online or whether I'm looking in my textbook for where my questions are. Then, now that's a pretty good indicator. Most of the time it's just the review, preview, the practice problems from that section. But just in case it's not, also in the header of every assignment, I should probably put, what do you think? The numbers of the questions. So here, this would be what we had written down from last week and in our plan book today, 34 to 38, comma, 50. Sorry, 46 to 50. And then 59 to 63. Now this gets slightly complicated when it's a multi-day assignment, but the date that we would be looking for is when did you start this work? When was it? So you might have had Friday's date on there if you had it from Friday, but really let's go ahead and put today. I always put that top right. Notice I kind of made my page look like your pages do with the red line and the blue line. This should be, if you're putting headers at the top of the pages, up in that empty space. Can I have your eyes, just maybe? And we're not in the textbook right now. We're in the math journal. We have your math. Okay, thanks. I'm trying to make sure that as we move forward, as I have higher and higher expectations, I don't want to give more progressives. That's not what I'm looking for here. My expectations are ratcheting up, and you'll see that as I hand it back, I'll say, you need to date and label. You need, like, that means the next time, if you don't do that, it's a progressive. I have given you the feedback, you need to do this. If you don't, it's a progressing one. Are we clear? Then you would number your problems. We're all doing pretty good with numbering our problems. You could either have 3- or you don't have to, but then you would start on problem 34. And if it's got multiple sections, you would do multiple sections and moving on. This will be for multiple days. Some people, because they're like really like they want to know when things were assigned and what was going on, they'll put every date. So if they work on this on 9/25 and then they stop and they work again on 9/26, they might throw the date out in the margin. So that's another technique you can use is throw dates in the margin. Well,
I was just thinking that I'm not sure if I'm going to do this, but like usually whenever I write my assignments, you probably notice I always like do the assignment like number and then I put a box around it. Is that would you prefer like that?
if you're starting a new page, at the very, very top is the best. But if you're not,
Like for
if you
like
just
numbers.
do like a split
Yeah,
line.
for like say if I did 3-34, I put
Oh,
a
yeah, it's
box.
fine. So then you know it's not part of the problem. You know it's like,
Yeah.
that works. We need to talk about your headers though.
Yeah.
Did you see that now?
I just didn't put any.
Yeah.
But it's better than the
Yeah.
walls.
Like, did you say that you were
No, it's not actually.
Unless if he did all of his
No,
homework in one
hold
day.
on, sorry.
Maybe he did all his homework
No,
in one day.
he has headers. And 2, don't pick on him. So 1, we need headers, right? 2, Paul has headers. It tells me whose homework it is. Sorry, Will just made us pick on him.
Wait, can't you
Will
tell
had
by
no
my
headers
handwriting?
at all. Like
You
nothing.
can tell by my handwriting who it is.
But I can tell by Bilal's with his name.
Okay.
Okay, so
What
moving
kind of
on.
letters are these?
What
Bilal's
is this?
math journal is mastered because it's
Never
great.
mind.
Aside from
Yeah.
that,
Will
it's great.
Clinton.
Yes, I get it. Okay,
Okay,
moving on.
so like you get a match, but you said that I need to create these headers, so should I go back and do
No,
create
so
a
if-
new one?
If I've given you a mastery and I say like what you need to be doing, that's in the future, that's what I'm going to be looking for. So like for now it's okay because I haven't directly given you that feedback. So because we're kind of picking on Bilal today, I've now directly given Bilal written feedback. You need to date and detail your assignments or your headers or whatever I wrote. Which now he knows, oh, I need the details, and I need the date. If he doesn't do that in the future, it's a progressing. Okay, are we getting how this whole math journal thing's working? This is why I wanted to like take a beat today, make sure that we're all good. So, your second math journal grades, which these are your third. Your second math journal grades are going in math today. So if you had a progressing on your second math journal check, go back and that was like 914-ish,
Yeah.
depending on when you turned it in. If you're progressing on that and you haven't taken care of that, if it's ready to be taken care of, turn it in at the end of class. If it's not, it's going to go in as progressing, and then you need to take care of that. So you guys have had like 10 days now. It's a while. I should have put them in math over the weekend, but I got really busy and I decided to be nice. I was thinking last night, like, I could update these, but people are going to get really upset. So I'm going to tell them that I'm going to update them. Which, here's the good thing about, especially with you guys having class 1B. Telling you this is going in math. You can take care of it today, hopefully if I have time to get it graded, and it will change, hopefully, potentially, or at least you can tell your parents you've taken care of it before you get home. So even if the progressing is sitting there in math, you can say, yeah, I talked with him, I did it, it's in his bin, it's getting graded, whatever. Cool, are we good on headers? Any questions about how to format an assignment? Yeah.
Can I do that? Can I put homework for so long?
Sure.
Really
Yeah. Actually, you should put that above. Now, not everybody should be labeling homework for Bilal.
No, I'm gonna do that from now on.
But what you could say is homework for Bilal on, and then have your date, and then the assignment below. That's what I would do.
I'm gonna write another phrase at the very top.
It's all good. All right, moving on. What was the next thing we were going to do? Talk about the team test, I think? Yes.
The one Ian did not.
No, the team
That's
test.
a new insight.
So that's individual. This is going to be awkward because these were from a little while ago. So the people that I called, if you can do me a favor and just rip apart the tests and give them back to your team people. If you want to get back together with the teams that you were for this test, you're more than welcome to. You don't have to though. So like Annie, Alex Koenig, Naya, if you guys, and Tyler, if you guys can come grab these, and Ava, and get the other ones back to their rightful owners. We're going to go over these problems.
Wow, that was so violent. It kind of was scary. Everyone here in the top left of every math assignment, right? Homework for today.
Do not write homework for Bilal at the top of your assignment. It is funny, but I will get very confused.
No, I'll put it maybe in parentheses. I'll write homework for Bilal.
We should all just write homework for Bilal. No other
You don't have to get back with those teams. It's okay, because I gotta explain what I did with these. So now this has the chance to be confusing, but I'm trusting you guys that we'll be able to handle this. You now have two assessments in front of you, and I only want one of them back. The one you just got back with the probability on the front. I don't want that. Okay, that's yours. I've looked at them. We're going to go over them. I don't want those back. There will not be any assessment grade from Chapter 1. The 2 grades were your math running checks. Okay? So there's no assessment grade from Chapter 1. Chapter 2, there will be.
Good morning. Penelope Chalmont, please come to the office. Thank you.
At one point, we should all in this room change the front of our covers to Bilal, and then we should all.
Will, can we move on, bud? We're in the accelerated set. We got to move on. Okay, you got to know when something is done and over with. It has passed. The moment is gone. Okay. So, as we look at number 1, take a second. We have. I can give you like a minute or two. Review with your groups where you're sitting now, which is different than who you took the test with. How you guys got your answers, especially 1B. That's the tough one. We're going to go through the other ones quickly, but 1B is the tough one. So I'll give you like 2 minutes we can probably use for this.
Okay. No, we did practice. Yeah, what's your I'm trying to remember how we solved this.
That's why I figured I should give you a couple minutes.
Yeah. Because we cut this.
There are multiple ways.
I did this. So we cut those like that. So we just got 32.
Not a minute.
That was that. No, that's all I do. Like this area times 4, and then figured out this area. It's like 8 by 8.
The only thing we eat. Well, Alright, wrap it up. You've got 30 seconds. All right. May, can you help me out? Bring it up. Bring it together, guys. Tripping over my tongue here. May, can you explain to us what you guys did in part A of 1 and how you know that? We got to back it up. Awesome. Now, how do you know it's 1/3? Yeah, there are 3 sections and 2 of them aren't right. Now, what if, though, What about something like that? Is that still 1/3?
No.
So what else would we need to say about this to really reinforce
Even
what? See the people with their hands up and the fact that I was talking.
Oh, snap.
Alex, what else would we want to say?
That they're all evenly spaced out.
We have 3 equal-sized regions where one is shaded. So if you didn't have anything on there about that, just notate that really quick. Just point an arrow or something, just equal-sized. That's what makes that one easy, as opposed to the spinner on the back, because it's a bit more difficult. We're going to jump to the back, so flip over there. We're going to come back to B. Ian, can you help Jonah understand why 2/5 would be equal? Very low. Why 2/5 would be equal to 4/10? Or how we show that, I guess.
Literally, I mean,
It's in the family room. Or
wait, where is
it's over there. I don't know.
It's over.
Ignore it. Try to ignore it. Alright, Ian, speak loudly. What did you guys do to explain this to Jonah?
we drew out the thing.
What they have to say?
Yeah.
The rectangle
And then we
text?
just literally just drew a line in half, like horizontally, to just show that it.
Man, I really wanted to like mess with you, but I think you said everything.
Yeah.
Repeat what you said. I want to make sure you fill in all the
We took
pieces.
the bars and
Okay.
then drew a line in half horizontally, and that's literally.
Darn it, Ian.
That's so
Smart.
good.
So, here's what I like to do with people, and I was happy when Ian's. I like messing with Ian. I've known a couple people didn't have this figured out, by the way. Ian's mom works here, so I've known Ian for a couple of years. Here's what people normally say. Oh, just draw a line straight through it. And I, messing with them, say, okay, there you go. And then they say, no. Okay, draw a horizontal line through. And I say, okay. And I do that. But Ian said every detail I needed. He said I draw a horizontal line through the halfway point across the boxes, now making 10 equally sized boxes with 4 of them filled in. So thank you very much. You stole my fun, Ian.
Come on.
Good work.
See, you knew you were going to do that too.
Yeah, kid.
I told you to let it go.
Annie, what about helping Irene? What about helping Irene in number 3? We got to figure out how big those regions are. Let's say you're planning your business for Phoenix Fair, and you're going to do a prize table just like at the fair, and you're going to set up a spinner. Maybe these 2 regions, you're strategically going to create them small, are going to be your win the mega prize. How do you figure out what the probability is? Talking with Annie. Yeah. Sorry guys, when I'm using cards, sorry, this is something to get used to. I will often say somebody's name before I ask the question so that they're tuned in with me. If you miss their name, you're like, oh, I want to answer that. Like, I'm not trying to be rude to you. It's just I am already like, I'm using cards to randomly get through people. So I said Annie, then I asked the question. So it's kind of like Annie's problem. If she needs help, it go to her team first, and then it can go out beyond her team. So Annie, what did you guys do to start?
Okay, so both of the question mark pieces are on one side of the spinner, and we know that 3/6 equals half of the spinner, so 3/6 equals 1/2. So, and we know that 1/3 equals 2/6. So.
Now, what do you mean you know? What if you had somebody in your group that was like, wait, why? Because that would be me.
We multiplied it by 2 to get it, 2 to get it.
2 halves, be careful saying that. Giant one.
To get it equal, to have a common denominator with it.
Sweet. So 1/3 is actually 2/6. I get it now.
Okay, and then we added the 6 together on the other side, and that equals 3/1/2.
Yeah, so what you told me already was that this is a half. So then this section, the whole half, sorry, I should be specific with that. If the right side, if the right side is a half, then the left side must be a half, right? Like that's what I inferred. Then you figure out the green section is 2, 6, or what I now wrote in green. Okay, so we have 2, 6, and question mark make a half. Seems complicated.
So what we did is 3 6 minus 2 6 equals 1 6.
Wait, 3, 6.
Yeah.
Where's 3, 6?
It's the 1/2 side that you should.
Oh. So we can convert that to 3, 6. So you said 3, 6. Sorry, continue then.
No, the half side is 3 6.
I know, I agree. So is this. Either of them.
Oh.
I think
Just writing 3 6.
I'm just writing. So is this. This is also 3, 6.
Okay.
I get you, but I'm just ignoring that because you said, this is why I thought you went that way. You said, we saw that the question marks were on the same side, so let's work with that side, is kind of what I thought you were meaning. Because this side doesn't really matter anymore, unless you want it to matter.
Okay. Okay. You're right.
So I mean, I won't write till you, I guess, so tell me what to do, then I'll write.
So we did 3 6 minus 2 6 for 1/3 equals 1 6, and then since there were 2 pieces, we divided that by 2 and got 1/12. Yeah.
So this section is their 2, 6. And together, these wedges, then they find out equal a 6. So each of them then must be half of a 6th.
Yeah.
Which half of a, well, that's ugly. This, just to take a moment to talk about it, is called a complex fraction. A fraction written with a fraction inside of it, fraction in the fraction, is complex.
Or decimal.
Right, yeah. So any portion in a fraction, but normally we don't put decimals in fractions. So Alex, instead I can represent this as
2 12ths.
yeah, well, I know what you're meaning. Together they are 2 12ths. Each one is 1 12th. So this, really I wrote that equals where I shouldn't have.
Good morning, Gabby and team. Please come to the office. Gabby and team to the office, please. Thank you.
What Alex is saying is if I use a giant one here and double my numerator and denominator, what I have in my reds is 2 12ths. If I take that and split it, each of them is 1 12th. So let's go back and look at 1B really quick. Sorry, I'm running out of time. We're not going to be able to take as long on this as I wanted. I'm going to show you a way to solve this if your group didn't figure this out that might make you angry. Now, like we often say, there are many right ways to get to Florida. However, there's often a most efficient, thank you Google algorithm, for routing you down the green road as opposed to the red one, right? Red's bad traffic. So, when we look at this, some people, as I leafed through, which by the way, I don't think I explained this, I looked at all of your guys' assessments. I did not want to mark them up because I didn't want people to get down on themselves. I wasn't really looking for accuracy on this one because I didn't expect you to have mastered all these skills yet. Chapter 1 jumps around a bunch. There's no assessment grade from it. I did not want to get you guys down on yourself. But it was interesting looking at the creative ways that people solved it differently. It kind of gives a little insight to your brain. How do you look at things? Some of us said, well, look, this is a weird shape. I'm just going to make it an easier shape to begin with. Let's act like it's a big square. Who made a big square? Nobody? And then it was the Math 7 class. And everybody, all the Math 7, whether you're Accelerator 7 or Math 7, we all did the same team test. If you went this way, how long is the big edge? 16. 8, 4, 4. This is a really easy way to get the entire area and then just take away these squares because they aren't actually part of it. Instead of cut, figure it out, add it up, I can just do 16 times 16 and then take away 4 16s. So whatever 16 times 16 is, take away 4 16s would give me the total area of the entire region, 192 centimeters squared. In my mind, now, a lot of you, what I saw you did Broke it up, broke it up, broke it up, broke it up. Maybe made a big rectangle across there, smaller rectangles across there. Look. So you can do this, right? And then if I'm trying to find out the total, I add, and I add up all the pieces. But when it comes to how much is shaded, we need to figure out how much is not shaded. So if I took the route of big square, then I found the 192, all I need to do is take away these unshaded triangles. We know triangle area formula is half base times height, which means every 2 triangles are just base times height. So 3 times 4, 12 would be both of these, and then 12 would be both of those. And my shaded region is how much? You got it? The shaded amount? Yep. Now, here's another way. If you broke this up and made the rectangles on the outside, and then you were trying to deal with the middle, because the rectangles on the outside, that was an easy way to go. Who can tell me the easiest way to figure out what the total is versus how much is shaded? How could you figure out the total inside my blue square? Ava, what do you think? Oh, so this 8, and I think I showed you guys that, goes there.
And then the sides are also 8.
What's 8 times 8?
64.
Then if I only want the shaded, what do? Just subtract away the triangles. Instead of adding up a bunch of little pieces, look at it all together and take away what you don't want. Either way, we get 168 out of 192, which reduces. Final answer should have been. Anybody get it reduced? What is 7/8? Which, as a decimal, would have been 87.5 or 87.5, right? Yeah, 87.5%. Now, probability is actually fraction. But the chance would then be 87.5%. Probability we talk about is fractions between 0 and 1. Now, some people are fine with using percents for probability. Other people aren't. So I'd just like to let you know, probability we most often talk about is fractions. Chances we talk about using percentages. And I need, we have like, sorry, question? Okay, go ahead. I need only, so the test we were just looking at, I don't want back. I need only this test with Cecil's tightrope and the graph on the back. I need this test. It says Core Connections Course 2 at the very top left. Chapter 2, Team Assessment. I know it says team, but I'm doing it as an individual, and then you checked it with your team. I need these back. So please place these in my bin, and you're free to go. Will?
What is that?
Dilation, dude. So when we dilate from a center of dilation, everything will get larger by a certain rule. This is an experiment using a rubber band tool to do the dilations. It kind of worked. Kind of. So we fixed a rubber band, like multiple rubber bands tied together, and we stretched it. And this was our original. So you stretch it so a knot lands on it, and then you follow the knot. No, those are yours to keep forever. I said that like 4 times. So I can show you the experiment at some point, but you gotta get to your next class. Thank you. Oh, if you did not turn in your math journal last week, please do that. A few people did not.
I did. First journal check. I never had that in my
Oh, the one that you were missing?
Yeah. So that's why I didn't know
Yeah, that's why we tell you no empty boxes on the playing book. So if you see an empty box, you know you gotta go back, thank you, and get it figured out. What was in the box? No, you missed it at some point. Yeah, it's all good. Let's just get it straightened out and get it mastered. Yeah, okay. Your journal's right here. You're turning it out. Normally they go in here, but hopefully there's not a time. For what? Oh, for the second half, I'll check you.